Welcome /malicious compliance. Wearing combat boots during nursing school. Back when I was in nursing school, we were supposed to wear black non-porous closed-toed footwear with non-skid soles for our clinical rotations that weren't Crocs. Most of my fellow female students wore classic nursing clogs like Dascus and Sanitus. I tried wearing clogs like this in the past and had rolled my ankles too many times to recall, so I decided to not go that route for shoes. I'm a military spouse, a vet myself, and have aforementioned shitty ankles, so my footwear of choice was a pair of black leather tactical combat boots. As a show of support, and to make sure I always looked sharp at clinical, my hubby always shined up and edge dressed my boots every evening before clinical the next morning. The boots always looked professional, they were comfy as hell, I could bump my toes into beds without breaking a toe, and I could wear them all day without having back pain, foot pain, or rolling an ankle. The same could not be said for my classmates wearing more traditional shoes like clogs. During the first week of my first semester, I had an old school nurse as my clinical instructor. I say old school because she believed female nurses should still be wearing crisp white uniforms with the stupid starched hats, and that our profession lost prestige when we transitioned to scrubs. This instructor got such a bee in her bonnet about my boots and decided that my boots were out of regulation that she threatened to take it up to the director and have me tossed from clinical, thus failing the program. There was nothing in the handbook specifically stating I couldn't wear my boots, since it just stated footwear which was black, well maintained, non-skid, and non-porous. Check, 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 check. Furthermore, the pair of boots that I wore were meant to be worn by EMTs, so they were waterproof, bloodborne pathogen resistant, puncture-proof, oil-proof, non-skid, and had reinforced toes. They were just as expensive as Dansko clogs and could handle lots more abuse. I knew I was in the clear, and so I decided to keep on wearing them. The day after the instructor commented on the inappropriateness of my boots, she did a uniform/shoe inspection to make sure we were appropriately attired. I, of course, was wearing my nicely polished combat boots. She failed me for the day based on my boots, so I politely objected, stating that my boots fell within the definitions of acceptable footwear in the handbook. She literally marched me to the director's office like I was kid caught stealing cookies and demanded I get tossed for the boots, failure to follow program rules, and disrespect because I objected to her failing me. The program director, upon further close reading of the program regs, determined there was nothing that was wrong with the boots. They adhered to the standards set forth by the program, and that they were honestly safer than most of the shoes the other students were wearing because they were waterproof, puncture-proof, non-skid, and had reinforced toes. She rescinded my fail and allowed me back in clinical. After that, I heard not a peep about my boots from any of the faculty the rest of my program. Fast forward to graduation. I had been wearing combat boots since I started and had no intention of stopping, especially since many of the vets that I cared for during clinical always reacted positively to them. Our nursing pinning ceremony, the event where we receive our nursing school pins and are officially recognized as nurses, has an all-white dress code, white uniforms, starched white hats, white closed-toed footwear. The word footwear is key. The dress code did not state shoes specifically, and I knew this. Same bitchy old bat nurse sees me in the hall and makes it a point to tell me I'll have to get some real white nursing shoes to wear to pinning, since I can't obviously wear my black combat boots because we needed to have white footwear. I politely smiled, nodded, said that I'd have white footwear, and went on my merry way. And then wore the all-white Doc Martin combat boots my infantryman husband bought me as a graduation gift to pinning. The instructor stopped me after the ceremony and complimented me on actually getting nursing shoes, at which point I pulled up the leg of my white scrubs and showed her my boots. The look on her face was priceless. TL, doctor. Nursing instructor tries to fail me for wearing combat boots. Nursing director okays it. I wear black combat boots the whole program. Same instructor tells me to wear white nursing shoes for the pinning ceremony. I wear white combat boots instead. in response to, "But we've always done it this way." Here is a story to use to explain why that is as stupid as a cage of monkeys. Recently, a story has been circulating on the internet that can help to explain this phenomenon. It is a much simplified report of research performed in the 1960s on a group of monkeys by G.R. Stevenson. Start with a cage containing 5 monkeys. Inside the cage, hang a banana on a string and place a set of stairs under the banana. Before long, a monkey will go to the stairs and climb toward the banana. As soon as he touches the stairs, researchers spray all the other monkeys with cold water. After a while, another monkey makes an attempt with the same result. All the other monkeys are sprayed with cold water. Pretty soon, when another monkey tries to climb the stairs, the other monkeys will try to prevent it. Now, put the cold water away. Remove one monkey from the cage and replace it with a new one. The new monkey sees the banana and attempts to climb the stairs. To his shock, all the other monkeys assault him. After another attempt and attack, he knows that if he tries to climb the stairs he will be assaulted. Next, remove another of the original 5 monkeys and replace it with a new one. The newcomer goes to the stairs and is attacked. The previous newcomer takes part in the punishment with enthusiasm because he is now part of the team and has learned the rules. Now, the monkeys that are beating him up have no idea why they were not permitted to climb the stairs. Neither do they know why they are participating in the beating of the newest monkey. Finally, having replaced all of the original monkeys, none of the remaining monkeys will have ever been sprayed with cold water. Nevertheless, not one of the monkeys will try to climb the stairs for the banana. If they could talk, they would simply say, "We've always done it that way." My favorite story may be fictional, I'm not sure, and I don't remember exactly how it goes. A kid is watching her mom cook chicken soup and is puzzled because when mom takes the chicken out of the broth to let it cool down before she picks the meat off, she puts it in the sink, flips the empty dish rack upside down, and puts it over the chicken while she prepares the rest of the veggies going into the pot. The kid's puzzled, so she asks her mom, "Why do you do that?" "It's how my mother always did it." So, next time kid's at grandma's house, she asks her grandmother about it. "Why did you put the dish rack over the chicken, grandma?" Grandma almost busts a gut laughing. "We had a cat when your mom was little." But it's a balance between learning from others and simply following blindly, isn't it? There is no shame in asking questions and wanting answers beyond "we've always done it this way." Using your playing in traffic example. Say you're playing on the sidewalk and run out of space. You decide that there is this great big road you should get to play on because it's bigger than your dinky little sidewalk. You start to walk out, and someone roughly pulls you back. Obviously you question why they did that to you. If they said, "Well, we've always done it this way," you haven't really learned anything, have you? You don't know anything about the dangers of the road or traffic, and how it can hurt you or others. All you know is there is the big section of land you can't play on because they said so. Now say the person actually gave you reasons. You don't play in the road because cars could run you over and hurt you, or try to swerve and to miss you and hurt themselves. Now you don't have to go out in traffic and hurt yourself to verify this because you've learned from someone else. Being able to learn from others is a kind of superpower, yeah, but so is questioning authority and learning why. Back in 2000 I ruptured a disc in my back and needed surgery. The first surgeon I was referred to said he'd need to slice me open, fuse the disc, etc. I was going to be several months recovering and would most likely have a slight disability for the rest of my life. When I got home I looked for more info online and found lots of stuff about laparoscopic surgery for my issue. At my next visit I asked him about it. He told me he didn't trust some of those newfangled procedures. I got copies of my MRI and found another surgeon. That one seemed horrified at what the previous one was planning. He scheduled me for the less invasive surgery without fusing anything. After the procedure I was back at work 2 weeks later, albeit on restricted duty. Almost 20 years later I'm still pain-free. I was stacking concrete blocks and climbing around on heavy equipment this morning. I shudder to think what my back would be like if I'd just taken the first surgeon's word. There is an old story from WW2 era England involving field gun crews. It went like this, paraphrased from my memory. At a parade, several field guns were being demonstrated before a crowd of dignitaries. Each gun had a crew of 5, with 4 people operating the cannon, while a 5th stood 100 yards away at attention, not doing anything at all. A politician in the audience was curious as to why they needed 1 person per gun to stand alone in the field at attention, and asked a captain why it was done. He didn't know, so they asked a major, who ended up asking a lead col, who asked a general, who suggested they all find the retired commander who had written the manual that outlined the instructions for field gun crews. The old timer, who had retired 30 years previously, informed them that he knew why. Well, of course, the 5th man is to stand off in the distance holding the horses, so they don't run away. In the time, since the horses were replaced by vehicles, but the position was never eliminated. We were required to wear all white shoes, no logos or other colors, throughout clinical. I was excited about starting nursing school, so I invested in a pair of Dunskers that cost me something like $100. Then I got a hard lesson the first couple weeks of working as a real nurse when I looked stupid with white clogs and I looked really stupid with a limp after I rolled my ankle in the damn things. Glad you were able to find something that worked for you, that could carry you through to your nursing career. And to anyone else reading, yes, this is a normal nursing school experience. You make far more money as a bedside nurse as opposed to teaching, so nursing school staff always features a great cast of characters. Very commonly staffed by old school nurses who physically can't keep up and have rigid ideas of how things should be. Most of the things they try to impose have not been relevant for about 20 years. Though after 1 or 2 class sessions without scrubs I totally understood why they did have some uniform regulations. While I wouldn't expect professionalism from everyone all the time, some of the attire worn by my classmates to school was inappropriate even for bar hopping in the middle of summer. We definitely had a few awkward skills practice sessions due to 1 or 2 classmates bending over in really short skirts or low pants. So I get why they didn't want to deal with it and just wanted scrubs for most things. The weird restrictions were an easy way for them to size people up in regards to following rules and regulations, like the M&M riders for bands. Which is why it's so illogical she came down on you, since clearly you were following both the spirit and the letter of the rule. That's just plain incompetence. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.